Imagine lying in bed at night. The room is pitch dark. Your heart is beating in your throat, and it feels like something heavy is pressing down on your chest. You try to scream, but no sound comes out. Your eyes are open, but you can't move a muscle. You're wide awake and terrified, yet no one is there. What is happening? In the silence of the night, the familiar becomes terrifying. The mind conjures a presence from the shadows. Across cultures and centuries, people have experienced this same frozen terror and explained it as everything from malevolent witches to sleeping demons. All over the world, different myths and names describe this eerie experience. In Newfoundland, it's the Old Hag. In Japan, it's Kanashibari. In the Philippines, it's the vengeful Batibat. And in Brazil, the Pisadeira. Each story is different, but the core experience is the same. Feel free to do anything else while listening. This video's built like a podcast. Let it run in the background while you dive into your own world. Tonight on Structure Beyond, we step into the darkness to explore the demons of sleep paralysis. We'll travel from ancient Babylonia to modern cities, hearing the legends people told about these night terrors. But first, what really is this phenomenon? And are demons really involved? In many Western tales, the creature causing sleepless terror is an old hag or night hag. Legends say a witch-like woman sits on your chest as you sleep, suffocating you with her weight. Medieval Europeans even gave us a word for it: nightmare. The mare was a demon or goblin that lay on the sleeper's chest in the night. It was believed these nightmares were supernatural visitations. For example, a 15th century account reads, "The devil lay upon her and held her down," describing exactly that crushing sensation. This imagery, a heavy form pinning you down, is so common that even modern doctors use terms like a feeling of chest pressure or an intruder to describe sleep paralysis. These old tales sound spooky, but they were people's way of making sense of a universal human experience. According to the Sleep Foundation, during episodes, people often feel a heavy weight on the chest, a sense of being watched, and see shadowy, human-like figures in the room, which are often interpreted as demons, ghosts, or intruders. Psychiatrist Kara Baggett notes that about 3/4 of people who experience sleep paralysis will also experience auditory, visual, tactile, or other hallucinations, known as sleep demons. In other words, seeing and feeling a phantom presence is incredibly common during these episodes. The old hag and her cousins may not be real, but the fear they inspire certainly feels real. Asia offers its own chilling explanations. In Japan, the term is kanashibari, which literally means bound in iron or tied up, from kane, meaning metal, and shibaru, meaning bind. Japanese folklore tied this to magic, even saying some monks could paralyze people with a spell. The legend paints the vision like a heavy press on the body. In China, sleep paralysis is called gui ya shen or gui ya chuang, meaning ghost pressing on the body or bed. The imagery is identical, an unseen ghostly force pushing you down. Head to Korea, and you'll hear about Gawinulrim, literally a ghost sitting down on you. One Sleep Foundation article notes that Cambodian refugees call it kmuching kiti, a phrase for a supernatural being pushing down on the chest. They even report dreamlike hallucinations of ghostly figures. Sometimes the ghost of a sorcerer, sometimes a demon wanting to scare. In the Hmong culture of Southeast Asia, they name it Dab-tsog. This is a nocturnal spirit thought to sit on sleepers' chests. The legend goes that it might even try to strangle its victim, which is why the Hmong worry about sudden deaths during sleep. In fact, some Hmong communities once linked Dab-tsog to the real medical phenomenon now known as SADS, or Sudden Arrhythmic Death Syndrome. Modern science would suspect the deaths were due to heart issues, but the myth persists. In the Philippines, the lore is especially colorful. One famous legend is the Batibat, also called Bangunggot in Tagalog. According to folklore, the Batibat is an ancient, obese female spirit that lives in tree trunks. If its tree is cut down and used as a post for a house, the spirit gets displaced. Any human who sleeps near the Batibat's post is in big trouble. The demon transforms into its true grotesque form and sits on the person's chest. The victim then experiences intense nightmares and paralysis. In fact, the very word Batibat, or Bangunggot, means nightmare in the Ilocano and Tagalog languages. Witness accounts describe it clearly. People feel choking, moaning, gasping for breath, and then find themselves dead in their sleep with no visible injuries. Folk cures included biting your thumb or wiggling your toes during the attack, which are said to wake you up and break the Batibat's grip. But regardless of cause, Filipinos imagine some malevolent spirit at work. Across Asia, the common theme is something immaterial pressing on you. Despite different cultures and names, the stories match the same experience. The Sleep Foundation notes that this transitional state between sleep and wakefulness often overlaps our real bedroom. That's why you might think the figure you see is really there, but it's your brain blending reality and dream. Across the Middle East and Africa, sleep paralysis often takes the form of spiritual warfare. In Turkey, it's called karabasan, a jinn that sits on your chest and chokes you until you pray or snatch its magic hat. In Egypt, many still see it as an attack from malicious jinn, not a sleep disorder. Among the Yoruba in Nigeria, it's known as Ogun Oru, nighttime warfare. Here, spirit husbands or dark forces assault the sleeper. Others call it the devil on your back. The Hausa name, Danao, carries the same dread. Further south, Tanzania's Popobawa legend tells of a bat-winged demon that invades homes at night. Victims report being crushed, paralyzed, and unable to scream. Skeptics, like journalist Joe Nickel, noticed how these tales perfectly match symptoms of sleep paralysis, our brains conjuring terror in real time. In Brazil, people fear pisadeira, a bony old woman with long nails who stalks rooftops. She pounces on those who overeat or sleep on their backs, crushing their chest until they wake, gasping. In Mexico, they say, "Se me subió el muerto," the dead man climbed on me. Argentina and Spain blame goblins called duende, while Bolivia fears the Kalawaya devil. Among Amazonian tribes, night terrors were once blamed on spirit predators. Everywhere the story repeats. The body freezes, the breath catches, and culture gives the fear a face. Whether witch, demon, or ghost, each myth is humanity's way of explaining the same invisible nightmare. All right, time to step back from spirits and into the lab. Myths make it sound like monsters crawl into our dreams, but science paints a different picture. The real culprit is sleep paralysis, a natural, though terrifying glitch in how our brain transitions between sleep and wakefulness. Here's the quick breakdown. During REM, or rapid eye movement sleep, our brains paralyze our muscles so we don't act out dreams. This muscle atonia fades as we wake up, unless something misfires. When the mind wakes before the body, you're conscious, but frozen. The Sleep Foundation explains it as being awake and aware while muscle paralysis continues for a few seconds to minutes. The twist: the brain is still half dreaming. That's why hallucinations hit. Up to 75% of episodes include visions or sensations, shadows at the corner of your eye, whispers, or the crushing weight on your chest. Your brain's trying to explain the paralysis, so it projects fear into form. Some scientists think serotonin and disrupted body maps are to blame. The mix of dream chemicals and confused sensory signals can make you feel like someone else is in the room, or on top of you. Shallow REM breathing adds to the panic, feeding that feeling of being smothered. Fear amplifies everything. You panic, your heartbeat spikes, and the hallucination grows stronger. It's a feedback loop of terror. So, are these demons real? No. They're hallucinations born in the half-light of consciousness. As experts put it, sleep paralysis demons are not real. They're the brain's interpretation of fear during paralysis. The good news? It's harmless, though horrifying. Lack of sleep and stress trigger it most often. Keeping a steady sleep schedule, avoiding late meals, and sleeping on your side can help. And if it happens again, remember it's temporary. Move a toe, breathe slow, and let the science kill the fear. We've journeyed through the folklore of dreams and faced every kind of night demon imaginable. From the Old Hag of Europe to the Batibat of the Philippines, from the ghost of Kanashibari to the Jinn of Karabasan, cultures around the globe have spun terrifying stories to explain that frozen moment of dread. Each myth is unique, yet they all share the same core: an immobile sleeper, a dark presence, and a heart-pounding struggle. It reminds us to keep questioning our experiences. These legends aren't lies. They're powerful metaphors for what's happening inside us. So the next time a shadow on your wall wakes you up, remember the science behind the fear. You might even thank your inner demon for inspiring another unbelievable story. Stay curious, stay cautious, and maybe sleep with a nightlight. Until next time, keep questioning, keep searching, beyond the structure of what you know.